Welcome to another episode of the Gonzo Radio Show. I believe this is either 17 or 18. I don't know. It's like it's just a big blur now. But we just like come in here every Sunday. We're like, we got sports stuff we want to talk about. Let's talk about some sports stuff. And I almost want to rename the show Sports Stuff.
Okay.
Just sports stuff. But pick your microphone up a little bit. Get it down there. I know it. No need to worry about the phallic implications. Just
can you help me out there? I don't want to break the microphone.
A little more like, hey, wow, how did you even get this microphone?
You just pushed it and I stuck my face in front of it.
This is live podcast.
Yeah, we got this.
No, wait, now push the arm up. No, okay. Wait, hey, look over there for a second.
Over here.
Push up. Push.
Look
at that.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
A fucking professional, by
awesome.
the way.
Thank you.
So we've actually got like late breaking news, like in the last hour.
Insane NBA stuff.
The Woj in the NBA. What's his name? Wojnarowski is it? How do you pronounce that?
The guy from was it Barney Miller, the detective?
Wojciechowicz.
Oh, him. He's one of the Wojes.
He's much too small to be a Wojciechowicz.
Yeah.
So Wojciechowicz is a big burly Polish guy.
The official deadline,
who talk like this,
or was it 6 o'clock today? Is when things can start happening.
Yeah,
officially.
And they're already coming out with the news, and it's huge news. That this guy, and along with this guy,
they're Nets now,
and that guy,
Brooklyn Nets.
All three are now Brooklyn Nets.
My hometown.
Will be, excuse me, they are expected to join the Brooklyn Nets.
My hometown.
What, Brooklyn?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, my dad was born in the Bronx. Hey, we're practically
relevant. What do you say?
You're Italian.
Brave.
You're like on the Italian half of my family. Whatever.
I'm not going to pretend I'm a Brooklyn Net fan, but
right.
I'm just letting you know that's just it's nice to see them be hopefully a contender.
Well, and we all know that everybody's got like 6 degrees of separation from New York.
Exactly.
Even if it's my wife, her family is from New York, but now New York has a second basketball team, an actual in Brooklyn, New York, in metropolitan New York, the Brooklyn Nets, who've been floundering a little since getting their big, what would you call that? Their big three with the old guys.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, very old guys at the time.
They're old.
Yeah, well, they've got some good young guards that they've been kind of working with the last few years.
D'Angelo Russell, but D'Angelo wants out of town now.
Oh, he's probably going to leave, yeah.
He's probably going to want out of town because Kyrie's coming to town.
Yeah, well, Kyrie is going to be the man now.
Sorry, D'Angelo. I mean, you did a good job. You showed everybody you're an all-star, but sorry, buddy. I mean, what are you going to do? It's just how it goes. We're talking about... We're talking about and I'll even back up to his picture. We're talking about a guy who has 2 all NBA titles under his or distinctions under his belt, and 5 All-Stars, 6 All-Stars.
He's a top 10 guy
Elite.
when right.
Elite.
Yeah, I mean there's a little bit of knock on him. I mean, about a team guy, and obviously
head case.
In his opinion, I'm guessing this is going to be his time to shine again. Boston, I guess, it just wasn't a good fit. It just didn't work.
He's not Kawhi Leonard. He's just not Kawhi.
Clearly.
Sorry, I mean,
clearly,
Kawhi made the distinction that where he goes, championships go. Okay, simple as that. I mean, he beat the Miami Heat all by himself, just about, in the NBA Finals one time. Mm-hmm. That was his coming out party.
Mm-hmm. He got an NBA Finals. That was the one
MVP his first MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, by the way, everybody, for those of you neophytes who are like, oh, Kawhi Leonard, who is he? You have a very short memory. I believe that was 2014.
When, the first time?
Yeah. I think it was 2014 was when he beat the Heat single-handedly.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah. He put San Antonio on his back. That's Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Parker, and a great bench, and that kid, because I believe it was his second year, third year.
I think so, yeah. Boom.
On my back.
Yeah, MVP Finals.
Defended shut LeBron James down on 2 different occasions. I've become a big Kawhi Leonard fan.
Yeah, it was a coming out party.
Big Kawhi fan.
Again, we talked. He took a lot of heat this year, and for not playing, and for the injuries, and people were calling him out. Well, Now he's considered probably the top 2, third best player in the NBA.
Right, but by virtue of the okay, I'm going to call Kawhi smarter than Durant. Okay, he's smarter than Durant because he didn't push an injury.
Thicker skin, I think.
Yeah, also thicker skin.
We talked
he just
about
doesn't react.
Well, so he was forced into playing. We talked about it last week. Yeah, about how he just maybe he just obviously shouldn't have played. Hindsight, but
he was pressured. We'll
felt the pressure. I agree.
Okay, because we both agreed when we talked about this 2 weeks ago that it's a team or an organizational effort. And he was in. He wants to get out there and play. He wants it. Okay, so it's not a matter of him wanting to play or
hard to knock him for wanting to be
hard to knock him.
But somebody should have gotten his head.
Would you have done it? Would you have done it? If you were in his place, would you have done it?
I've played hurt many a times, not even close to this level, clearly. Anything, any sports. I mean, I played active all my life, and of course you're always going to want to play hurt. I mean, you play. That's why you're doing it, because you like to play so much that you're going to forego any of these things that you think may hold you back. Because in the moment, you think you're invincible. And you think that, and then on top of that, the mounting pressures that you're faced. Now, of course, we're not facing those things, but these guys, through Twitter and everything else they're hearing, and social media and every channel you watch, they were killing Durant about his, not wanting to play.
But he didn't hurt his earning power though with that injury though.
Well, not now. Clearly,
I mean, we'll give him the numbers because their contracts.
What is it, 4 for 164? I think is what's going to be.
That's for Durant.
That's Durant.
4 for 164.
Yeah.
Which he could have taken 5 at 221 million or 222.
Okay.
From Golden State, so
but remember now, California's got the state tax.
Yeah,
too,
I know
so.
that's the reason why they.
Although New York, again, taxing New York is not any great shakes either. But because I think you pay the local. $42 million. California, I think this tax is the steepest in the country.
Well, so. and while the Knicks are rebuilding, they get to be the kings of New York.
Yeah. Now remember now,
Kyrie's getting paid too.
He 4 for 141, I think, was going to be his numbers.
4 for 141.
So it's still north of $35 million a year.
Oof.
Still pretty good. Yeah.
Oof.
So, but what's interesting to see,
though, he's worth every penny.
Now remember, Durant's not going to be a factor at all next year. So it's going to be the Kyrie show, and it's going to be interesting to see. Again, the whole knock with Kyrie was, he's second fiddle to LeBron, and the pressures, and that's why he wanted out. He wanted to go to Boston and have his own team.
This is your chance to be all you.
Listen,
bro.
dude, this is you. This is your team. You got the Brooklyn Nets now. This is who you call home.
It's an eerily similar situation that he had in Boston when he first came there, because literally it was Al Horford and a bunch of kids.
Yeah, but ended up being some pretty good kids. That Jason Tatum's a pretty good kid. I got you.
The blueprint. Al Horford,
the
who's been playing for like 8-9 years.
Yeah, and a couple of role players.
Everybody else has been played for like 2. A couple of role players.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and he came in and he's like, I'm Kyrie. I'm here to bring you a championship. Well, he didn't mesh with the kids.
Didn't work.
Okay, he just didn't.
Could be a coaching thing too, because all of a sudden people were like, Brad Johnson, greatest coach in the NBA, and then last year all of a sudden
he is. I still think him and Erik Spoelstra are the 2 most underrated coaches in the NBA.
From year to year, you can't base a coach's credentials on their team's record. I mean, I agree. I think he is one of the best coaches still in the NBA. You don't lose the ability to coach a basketball team just because your team doesn't perform.
Right.
I mean, players still got to play.
But Kyrie has proven himself to be a little bit of a head case.
Agree.
He's really going to have to mesh with the head coach, the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just come stomping in there and go, I'm Kyrie.
Yeah.
Ring.
Well,
give me the ring.
Let's look at some positives. Older, maybe more mature.
Clearly,
opportunity is there now. This is his team, big contract. He's got a lot on his shoulders, and this is clearly he's going to be measured based upon this. He's got the titles, but again, it's LeBron's titles, and he went to Boston, and it didn't kind of work. But now, here we go. Let's see what happens. You know
why I think he was a head case in Boston? Because they made that deep playoff run without him, and those kids didn't think they needed him anymore.
Yeah, well, Kyrie hasn't really been known for wanting to play great defense either. And maybe Brad Stevens' defensive schemes and other things like that didn't sit well with him early. And then some injuries took hold. And then other factors come into play. And there's stuff we don't hear, stuff we assume, and other things like that we don't know.
But, I mean, I'm a Kyrie fan. If he were to come play for the Heat, I'd be thrilled. I'd be stoked. I'd go get a Kyrie jersey.
I probably would.
He is an elite point guard.
No question. No question.
If you can name 5 of the best point guards
in the NBA right now.
He's
clearly in the top 5.
He's clearly in that group.
Clearly.
Okay, but he now has to prove that he can put the team on his back and wait for the coming of Durant.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he could come back by playoff time next year. He could come back it's literally been done.
It's possible, but
we'll see.
What'll probably play into that is where their seeding is, how the season went, what are their, where's the team at that point, what are their realistic chances of actually making a run in the playoffs?
Yeah, because honestly, that's a guy that if he can function in your practice and he can play, even though he may not have been with the team all year. Okay, they played 78 games without him, and he comes in for a couple of tune-up games, and okay, he can play. That's Kevin Durant.
But I'm going to say this too.
But that's Kevin Durant.
Okay, well, let's talk about what Kevin Durant is going to be thinking about over the next 12 months while he's recovering, and it's going to be
bigger, better.
Well, it's waiting now really until he's 100%.
Yeah.
So if you're asking him to take that leap on an when that decision has to be made, I think it's going to be very difficult. I think there's going to be a lot of people in his ear, including the new organization for the Brooklyn Nets, and they're telling him, buddy, you're not going out there until you are.
Money, though. I'll give him that. He got his money.
I think he'll earn that contract once he's on the floor, but they're not going to put that man on the floor until he is 100% ready.
And as much as I love LeBron, he is the greatest player in the world. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the best player in the world.
Well, I disagree.
Well, what more so than LeBron?
Just talent-wise, head-wise.
Kawhi Leonard?
Kawhi is in the argument, but again, it's so hard. You're splitting.
Why not Durant?
Because he doesn't have what LeBron James has done with less. He doesn't have the titles.
I'm not knocking LeBron. LeBron is going to go down as a Mount Rushmore guy.
Yeah, I mean, but it's what's unfair is that you're trying to maybe compare players where they are now in their careers, even though they're still playing, and even that's difficult to do, perhaps. But let's let it all play out. Let's let James's career finish. Let's let Durant's career finish.
But
there is some overlap.
I'm just telling you that if I had both of these guys right now, tomorrow, I had to build a team.
Right.
My first pick would be Kevin Durant over James.
That's fair to say.
Quick, fast.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
My pick would be Kawhi Leonard over LeBron James.
But I'm going to ask you this question. When you're starting that franchise today, are you starting that franchise today to win today, or are you starting that franchise today to build for the next 5-10 years?
No, to win today.
Well, then I changed the answer. Then my answer is LeBron James. And not just because Durant is hurt.
Wow.
Because it's one season. Because Durant doesn't make everybody around him better like LeBron James does under the right circumstances. You've clearly seen that throughout his entire career. You haven't seen that at all with Durant. Okay, not at all. He got to Golden State. Yeah, they won a title, but I'm sorry, they didn't win a title. They perhaps would have won the title this year if he was there. Again, you can argue that back and forth. Regardless, there's no way that I would just go for next year, and I'm starting between those two guys. Give me Durant healthy, give me James healthy. I'm taking James. It's not. That's quicker for me to decide than what you had alluded to before about taking Durant.
You can have a wrong opinion. It's okay.
5 years, 10 years.
You can be wrong.
Durant, yes, for sure.
I mean, Durant's like 6 years, 7 years younger.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's a large window.
No question. 3 years even.
NBA time. That's still 7 years long.
You give me one good year of LeBron where you can put everything on paper that seems to work, and again, whatever they're going to do moving forward after Davis, I don't think the current regime is going to work like this, but I'm saying if you kind of had that little magic, that the 8 ball, that ball you can look into, I clearly think that it's James and everybody else. Okay, now he has to have pieces. I get all that. You got to have the Kemba Walker perhaps coming over. Clearly now you got Davis.
Walker's going to Boston.
Perhaps that's he's on the table. I'm just throwing names out there.
The NBA abhors a vacuum.
Yeah, I'm just throwing names out there. But again,
Kemba. As a matter of fact, I can probably call it up and look here and see that Kemba Walker is probably already signed with the season. Remember, free agency started at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and our show went on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff happening right now.
See,
I'm sure.
KD signing with the Nets. Yeah. They've already got him superimposed. In their Brooklyn Nets jersey. That's I love graphics. But Kemba and the C's, 4 years, 141.
Celtics, there you go.
Ding,
Boom.
It's a deal. It's done.
So the Celtics wasted no time about filling Kyrie's spot.
Right, and I mean, let's see. No, that's it. And you know what? And a couple of big pop-offs early, of course.
Right.
Those are some major pieces.
Sure. So, and there's still some more to fall.
Oh, yeah. It's early.
Yeah.
It's early. We just got started. So there you have it, though. There's your breaking news, along with a little extra Kemba Walker confirmation that he has been signed to fill that vacuum. And I think that makes the Celtics a lot better. I think that makes him super dangerous because we're talking about a guy who's a facilitator and a scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he is going to make those young guys so much better. He is a guy who makes his team better.
I think he's more of a buy-in system guy. So if
too.
They've got things right there in in Boston, Charlotte. Obviously, they got the coach. I mean, still the best coach to me, or at least one of the top 2 or 3
Coach
in the NBA.
Brad's boy now.
So
they got rid of Rozier too, right?
Yeah, they're moving Rozier, trying to move Rozier. So it's going to be the Jaylen Brown show off the bench, which will back up Kemba just fine.
Right.
Horford potentially is on the move too. They're talking about. So
come to Miami.
Well, there's a lot of moving pieces.
The Heat have got to move some pieces.
Heat are talking about Butler, perhaps.
The Jimmy Butler, and if you can, I mean, honest to God, they need to move Hassan Whiteside. They need to move him. They need to move Dragic. They need to move Dion Waiters. They need to move some those 3 contracts. Most of all, they get them out of here. Bye. Yeah. See ya. Bye now.
I'm a Dragic guy a little bit.
I love the draft.
Hurt last year. I think he was really beat up. Yeah, he has got a lot of money coming.
He's getting paid a lot of money.
The Whiteside thing for me is baffling. Yeah. How the guy is a beast when he's on the floor, and then last year, I mean, there were times where certainly at the end of games where I measure a player's importance to a team if he's on the floor at the end of the game.
Right.
And at the end of the games last year, he wasn't on the floor. Bam Adebayo was playing center. Again, not taken away from Bam, but Whiteside's the guy you paid the money to, and clearly his efficiency is off the charts good when he's on the floor.
But he's not a good perimeter defender.
Well, there's issues there somewhere.
Adebayo is
he's a rim protector.
He's a really good but he's also a really good perimeter defender. He comes out and challenges threes.
He can.
Whiteside does not come out and challenge threes.
Something
Even
happened.
Though he's probably got a longer wingspan. He's got. Let me tell you what.
It's a Spoelstra thing. Something happened there between him and
Spoelstra
Spoelstra.
and Whiteside. They don't like each other.
Yeah, something happened.
And Riley probably sat them down in an office and said, "You two,
yeah,
get along." And they went, "Yes, sir." And it's been a nightmare for a year and a half now.
Yeah, so it's just not working.
So move him, move Dragic because he's got a large contract.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll see what pieces
move Waiters because he is so not worth $16 million a year. Oh my God, he is so not worth $16 million.
He's just a shooter.
Chen for the Marlins is the only one in Miami stealing more money for poor play. Did you see what he did today? He imploded again. Anyway, don't get me started about the Marlins. I just came back from the game a little while ago.
Yeah, go Phillies.
Love that park though.
Go Phillies.
Yeah, Philly this. Yeah, but it's ridiculous how these players do not play to value. They just don't. And they really need to do something about it. And if they can move them and pick up a couple of pieces like Butler and Horford, I think it immediately improves the team.
It sure does. I mean, those guys are both proven veterans and
makes them a playoff team in the East.
Can both play a little defense,
sure.
which the Heat do like to play a little defense. They're one of the few teams that still play a little defense in the NBA.
Moving on from basketball, because we could really go on and on and on because there's a lot going on. Hell, there's a lot going on in alerts. They just come up, bing, bang, hey, another guy signs. But moving on to the Shield, the National Football League.
Rookies report in about a month, right? Okay, not a whole lot to talk about right now.
And July 1st is the end of the beginning of free agency?
Yeah, tomorrow. I mean, when I say not a whole lot, yes, things are starting to ramp up. But yes, July 1st is that. Rookies report in about a month, I think, into camp.
Oh, and you know what? July 1st is the declaration date for some contracts to get roster bonuses.
Right, got it.
So some guys are going to get cut.
Yeah. So again, the NFL is going to start moving pieces too.
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to talk about the NFL right now is this is an exciting time. We're all jacked up. Football's coming. Couple of things to look at for next year coming up. I was able to go back and find that there are some pretty prominent records that are going to be broken this year potentially. So I've got a list of some guys.
Statistical records.
Something to watch, because I'm a numbers guy. I like statistics and I like talking about these sorts of things. So I did some research and a couple of big names out there. First guy I want to talk about, one of my favorite players because I'm a homer, Ben. Unfortunately for this particular stat, not a good one for Ben. He is 25 sacks away from being the all-time NFL sacked leader. That's a lot of bruising.
That's
a lot of aspirin.
He's played a long time.
He has played a long time, but he's also been knocked down
Dave
a long
Craig?
time.
Dave Craig was the most sacked moron ever.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre? Oh, yeah.
The other guy who got knocked around a little bit. So he's 25 behind him. More than likely, I mean, our offensive line's been really good. It was good last year. It's the strength of our team. But
he still got knocked down 30 times.
It's hard not to in today's NFL, and he's still fairly mobile, and he's out of the pocket, and he creates. That's his style. So my guess is week 12, we'll be looking at this again and going, man, Ben, please don't break the record.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to happen. So interesting. Okay, next guy, Vinatieri.
Stop beating on my table.
I thought that was your leg. Vinatieri. He's 20 field goal attempts away from breaking another all-time great, Morton Anderson's record, 709 attempts.
Greatest kicker of all time?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, definitely one of the longest tenured. I mean,
Super Bowl champions. If there's such a term as clutch kickers, I mean, this guy's been it. Yeah. I mean, he's won Super Bowls with that leg. Yeah, huge. Next guy, Michael Thomas. Last year, 125 catches.
He's about to get rich.
85% catch rate. That's pretty good. Now,
he's about to get really
the
rich.
record previously is Marvin Harrison, 143.
I remember that well.
We're reaching here a little bit, I think, but it's possible. The Saints have only held on to Kamara and basically Michael Thomas. So catching the ball is going to be Breeze throwing it to those two guys and those two guys, I think. So chances will be there, and who knows? The guy can easily go for a couple of 20-catch games next year, I think, in this new age of offense and throwing the ball around the field, 500 yards at home.
Sure, but they've added a few other pieces. What was, they also
Willie Snead still there?
No, he's gone.
He's gone. Okay.
They signed a kid last year, a wide receiver from Chicago. They signed him over, and he came in and immediately got hurt. And I can't remember his name now, so it must not be that great. No,
Gabriel?
Taylor Gabriel is
Trying to think. Okay.
Still in Chicago.
Then I don't know. But
moving on.
Lots of chances. Lots of chances. I think he's got a shot. Okay, who we got next year? Oh, this is a big one, too. Quarterbacks next year. We got two guys.
Huge.
That have been around for a little while.
20 years each.
They're chasing another, obviously, first-time ballot. Peyton Manning for total touchdown passes in a career.
Right on.
Drew Brees is 19 back, and that other guy who we like so much in New England is 20. I'm only kidding. I'm being facetious about that. Yeah, the other female quarterback in New England.
All right, now we don't need to listen. We don't need to go gender bias now.
Sorry, he's
stop insulting women.
He's 22 behind Peyton Manning. So very likely both those guys will be 1 and 2 by some point during the year, and then we'll be talking about whoever plays longer is going to, I guess, hold that record.
It's so funny. I of course I despise one, even though I respect what he's done.
Totally respect. When I pick on Brady,
it's respectful despise. It's respectful hate.
It's
respectful hate. See, sir, you're the greatest there ever was, but you pee sitting down.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're jealous that you have a hot Brazilian wife. And even his kids are gorgeous. His kids are ridiculous. How would you like to be Tom Brady's kid?
It's an awkward question to answer. But, yeah, I mean, I guess the kid's going to come out fortunate. But here's what I'm going to say. I have no issue with the fact that they let him play with a tampon. All right. I mean, with the number of letters that I've written, they certainly could have written more. So I've gotten over that, and that's okay. So it's not a gender bias thing.
You got a Dolphin fan and a Steelers fan, so the hate is real.
It's not a gender bias, so it's not. Don't bring gender into this.
Oh,
I'm just saying that if you're going to bleed on the field, then you should just bleed on. Everybody else bleeds. Why shouldn't he? So that's just one issue with Tom Brady. But regardless of all that, both those guys have a shot this year of passing.
I should get a Raiders fan. I should get Pete in here with a Raiders jersey on. I should go get a Jets fan and a Bills fan just off the street, because it would just be a round table of who hates Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Yeah. That sounds like a good special show to do.
We could probably do at least an hour on that.
An hour.
Yeah. So
hate.
So footballs are coming. Obviously, we got some big stuff coming too with the fantasy show. That we're starting to get ready for.
We're going to move the show to 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock, 11 a.m.
10:30.
Why confuse people?
I just like 10:30.
You're a weirdo.
10:30 will go till 12. I think an hour and a half is plenty of time.
An hour and a half?
I got so much to say.
I don't want to be around you that
long. You have
long.
I'll shower. We'll be good.
Will you? Anyway, okay. Well, then we will talk about that further on the break.
Yes.
I'm going to tell him he's nuts, and we're going to start the show at 11, and it's going to go for an hour and a half, and it's going to stop at 12:30. Because that way we can get the injury report.
Mm-hmm.
The fantasy injury report. We have to be on the air for that, and we have to have that rolling live. Okay?
All right, so 10:30 to 12 is perfect, right?
No.
No? Okay.
All right, we're going to go have a fight, and we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back with, we're going to go right to the walk-off right after this. Boom! Welcome back to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. Did I say podcast on the way out? I'm used to saying when we toss to a break, I'm used to saying Gonzo Radio Podcast right after this. Like, dude,
I didn't catch it. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll find it because this is being taped, so we'll find out. We can always go to the tape. Yeah, well, I'm running so many shows, it's all just one big blur. The glasses are coming on.
I'm going serious for this segment here.
I always wear my glasses. Yeah. Because Grandpa needs his readers.
My wife, by the way, who's watching. Hi, Diana. I love you.
Hi, Diana. He loves you. I like you a lot, though. You're really, really cool.
Today, just told me that she didn't like my glasses. Now, it could have been one of those things where she's like, I really don't like those glasses. Maybe because she likes my regular face so much. But she looked, and I thought, I've had these for a while now, and I really like my glasses. So, Diana, right. I'm sorry you don't like my glasses, but we're going to have to come to some sort of an agreement on the glasses. Can we get a vote on the site as who likes the glasses? All right, sorry.
The first time that I saw them, in my head, I was being nice, but in my head I went, well, those are stupid.
So you don't like them either?
No, they're all right.
Okay.
They're stylish.
I want you to be honest. I'm not looking
they're
for
yellow.
Style. Yeah, and I thought they were greenish, though. I'm really bad with colors.
I just want to know, did you get them at Dollar General
or
these
Family
are Dollar?
I would venture to say that these glasses...
You paid extra money for those.
I'm going to guess somewhere around maybe $100, I think. Maybe because they're prescription, too, obviously. They're not just readers. They were designed for my eyes.
3 for $17.
This is $75 yellow. This yellow you can't get in a lot of places. I'm just letting you know. That's why they're so expensive.
The Guru's Guru, Roscoe Hen, always has readers on him. He buys them at the dollar store, like 5 at a time.
I've got dollar readers at home too, but I'm not bringing.
I hate him for that, but I'm not getting expensive reading glasses. I'm
not bringing dollar readers to the show. This is $75 yellow on this show.
So I appreciate the gravitas of your eyewear.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, you get the appreciation.
Part of what it is my
gravitas of the chosen eyewear.
Next week they're going to be an advertisement on these. We're going to cha-ching from these glasses.
Oh, yeah. We're finally going to get some sponsorship on the network.
You never know.
It's one thing that I forgot to do, and I see you open your chat room.
I don't think I have the capability.
You've got it opened up. Cut the channel on. Nothing in the chat room. What is wrong with you?
That's fine.
It's not fine.
Oh, no.
You're an embarrassment. My God.
All my friends will be
there you
watching
go.
at some point.
Saying hi to Diana.
Nice.
And it's her and James. James P. Friend of yours? Sure.
Hey, James.
You have friends?
How you doing, James?
You're a very patient man.
Yes.
Okay, well, hi to everybody, both of you. That's okay. Things are starting to build, though.
Believe me, I got my friends are watching. They watch after because it's tough. It's still a tough kind of slot, and they're still kind of getting used to that and stuff. So
then let them watch. That's what the podcast is here for.
Excuse me.
With this, I mean, the information is timely, and if you wait to watch this after you catch all the headline news, it might lose some of its impact.
Sure, it does.
But if you watch within 24 hours, which I stress people to do,
totally,
which is why I want you to share it once the link goes up. I stress people to do that way. It stays timely.
Well, the content that we're going to start see right now, obviously we're doing some reporting and some of the news. We're giving our own little spin, which is cool. When we get into the fantasy and the gambling side of it, that's content that people are going to want to access immediately because they're going to be able to use that information like on the daily. And I'm gonna
get carpal tunnel from all the friggin' typing I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming for that, so just be ready.
I need a typist.
And when you start watching it, actually the smartest thing to do is if you happen to miss it, you can go back and say, "Damn it, I should have watched it when I had the information," and not going back and saying, "Wow, God, that stuff was really good."
You know what I need for you to do? I need for you to get fatter or something. I mean, I'm looking in the picture right here, and it's just like. Me.
It's the lighting.
It's the lighting. It's the red. Isn't the red makes me look wide?
We got new shirts coming, don't we?
Yes, we do. We have new Gonzo Radio Sports Desk shirts coming. You may have noticed in the logo or the new logo in the break. Dropped a few of them. It's actually I can sneak one out for you. Want to see it? Want to show everybody?
I do. Please show everybody. That's cool.
It's gorgeous.
I really
it's
like
great on a T-shirt. Yeah. It really will. But those are coming out in the near future. And we're not necessarily monitoring the. What do you got? YouTube Premium? At least get the promo off your screen.
Yeah, sorry, I lost attention.
So internet challenge.
We have.
We're trying to teach him.
We got the walk-off coming, don't we?
You're trying to change the subject.
Well, I was just kind of. I'm computer failure.
Well, here's the walk-off.
Winner.
Yeah, I got to get you a theme.
Let's talk about some baseball. There was a big game across the pond this weekend.
Well, there was
two big games actually.
There was a game this afternoon that I was a little annoyed at. But anyway, go ahead.
But I'm
not bitter.
Everybody's Yankee.
We're talking about the fun across the pond.
Heck yeah, Yankees Red Sox. That was big.
Well, in this instance, it would be Red Sox and then
Yankees. They took that stadium. There was a time lapse that I saw. It was super cool. I'm sure anybody can find it on YouTube about the construction of that Wembley Stadium to convert it to a baseball stadium.
The conversion, yeah.
And it was really cool. And that's something that you can watch over and over again. Obviously, hopefully, maybe to slower and just get a good feel for what they had to do. Fans were jacked.
Yeah.
Players were more jacked with all the runs that were scored.
Right.
50 runs in 2 games.
Yeah, I was starting to ask, is this fantasy football? Who scored the touchdown?
It was insane. Yeah, now, the pitching, it wasn't very good, but the hitting was clearly very good. Now, quick dimensions of the park. Center field was only 385 to dead center. They did put a 15-foot wall out there.
385
to center. Yeah, but you know what it is? It was also 385 in the gaps, too. So certain parts of the park obviously were
that's why the ball was going
a little more part of it, but part of it was bad pitching and part of it was just really good hitting.
I remember the ticker, though. The ticker came across. It was so-and-so two-run shot. So-and-so two-run shot. It was just like there were 4 Yankees with 2-run shots.
Like I said, there were 50 runs scored in the games, 2 games. There were 65 total hits, 16 of which were doubles and 10 homers.
Well, at least it was entertaining.
So, yes, lots of runs to be scored. Yankees took them both.
They're used to soccer matches where it's like 1-0 is like, woo,
but you know
barn burner.
I'm always busting baseball's chops. Good for baseball because this seemed to work. The fans were happy. All the players had good stuff to say about it. Mookie Betts came out and said that, hey, I'm on board. Let's go back next year. They flew him over first-class charters, and it was just all top-notch for these players.
Well, here's my question. They got high output offense, which we know is always exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would they sit through a pitcher's duel in the same fashion? A 2-1.
Remember now, cricket's their baseball, and those matches can go. One side can be at bat for an hour,
forever,
which happened to be in the first game. The first inning of the first game took an hour.
So they're used to that action.
They were sitting around going, okay, well, what is this? This is
the
normal.
Scoring in cricket is different.
Very
there's
different.
always scoring, though. There's always something going on.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know a little bit about the game. Right. I do know that there's also tons of fans, and they're yelling and cheering, and they're there for hours, and they don't seem to complain about an extra 10 minutes.
India, dude.
Yeah, it's huge.
You should see it in India. They brought that. They brought cricket. The English brought cricket to India, and India is gaga. India and Pakistan are bananas about cricket.
Huge. So good ratings for baseball. Good for them. Good step in the right direction. Maybe they get a little momentum going into the All-Star break. A little quick mention about the All-Star break. Again, very cool.
I went too far with the graphic.
Baseball got it right again this year with the All-Star game, and they allowed fans to vote into like something similar, like a 2-tier system.
Even though they put it in Cleveland?
Well, that's a whole different argument. But a great baseball park, by the way. No joking
Love
aside.
you, Cleveland. We always fuck with Cleveland.
It's just too bad they couldn't put that ballpark over in Milwaukee. No, but what I'm saying is that they did it right. 2 different tiers. Fans got to vote who they thought would be in and start. After the players got past the first set, the first group, it was almost like an elimination tournament. They got to the next level, and again, fans got to pick who they wanted to see in there, and they made their selections, and I went through quickly and matched up a lot of the guys. I'm on board. Most of the picks, the fans, I think, did a great job.
Is this really the walk-off? You're not angry?
No, for once I got something good to say about baseball. I want to keep it going.
Not disgusted.
I want to keep it live for baseball. So good for baseball. They got things right, and the All-Star game should be a ton of fun. It's in Cleveland, like we talked about, so the day before, one of my favorite things to watch is the home run hitting contest.
Okay.
And they get a bunch of kids in it this year, boy. And they changed that again, too. And they're giving the winner $1 million. Wow. So if you're not a little bit jacked up for, good thing about baseball, bad thing about baseball, what side you're on, a lot of the kids that are in this are on rookie contracts. So some of these kids could be doubling their salaries just based on a couple of home runs. So
good for them.
It's going to be exciting. The current list of players, there's going to be 8 guys that are going to participate. That's normal. 5 guys committed so far. Carlos Santana, Guerrero Jr., Yelich, hometown favorite. Now he's in Milwaukee.
Yelich. I miss him so much.
And 2 guys that I am looking to see absolutely mash. That kid for the Mets, Pete Alonso, leading the league in baseball homers right now.
What is he, 25 homers?
26, I think. He prodigious power. The dude's a beast.
And you can't get. He's almost like Sanchez in New York. You can't, if you put the ball anywhere near the plate, he's going to go get it. He's
so strong and crushing the ball. And then you got Pittsburgh story Josh Bell, who's still crushing the ball. I think he's 3rd in the NL in home runs right now.
Going on in Pittsburgh.
And you got football coming. So, but anyway, yeah, you're right. It should be a good time. There's a couple more slots left to be filled. I got some personal favorites out there. I'm going to make some calls.
You want in?
I can't get it. I wish I could, but maybe a few years ago. A couple of guys in San Diego I'd like to see get there. Hunter Renfro is a monster, country strong. Reminds me of a right-handed Jim Thome. And
he's same size, too.
Yeah, he's a big cat. And then they got that Franmil Reyes, who's a beast, who's also, again, 22, young, strong, can mash. And these guys are strong, and they're young, and I know they'd like $1 million.
Would you say they're benefiting from their big free agent signing, that they have to actually pitch to these kids to stay away from him?
You mean Machado you're talking about?
Yeah.
They're starting to turn it around, the Padres. Yeah, well, that's a whole different argument.
He's had an adjustment period.
The Padres are starting to turn stuff around lately. They've played some good baseball the last few weeks. Yeah, the Padres are young. The Padres are going to be a force. They've got some good pitching prospects.
But the Machado effect is really working out, especially for Renfro.
It's helping now a little bit. I mean, Renfro's he's got prodigious power.
Right,
so.
But they have to pitch to him because Machado's right behind him. You can't have that guy. You can't have that guy getting on.
Machado makes the lineup longer, certainly. So everybody benefits. Yeah, clearly.
Even though he's only hitting in the 240s.
Clearly. So
like your boy Harper.
I won't discuss Harper. So looking forward to that. The All-Star game is next week on Tuesday, and the home run contest is the Monday the day before. So
the shit out of you about the Phillies.
Looking forward to that. All-Star game is at Progressive Field, you mentioned.
Yes.
And I think it's going
a beautiful ballpark, by the way.
Amazing. Quick memory here on Sabermetrics side. I think it's more home run prodigious for left-handed batters than right-handed batters. Oh. So left-handed batters, it has a positive park factor. They call it.
Judge left-handed?
No. So that'll basically give lefties a little bit more of an advantage in the home run contest, perhaps. But of course, weather, wind, all that stuff will play a factor when we get closer. So.
And then there will be the home run derby jinx. whoever wins is going to have a crappy second half.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't. But
I hope.
Is Drake going to be there? Should we mention him too?
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, Drake sighting.
Who's Drake cheering for?
Drake sighting.
If Drake is on the sideline and he's got a Christian Yelich jersey on, if I was him, I would just leave.
Yeah.
The curse is broken. Shut up.
How good is Christian Yelich right now?
Oh, don't remind me.
Wow. This dude is sabermetrically off the chart. Hardball, barrel rate, just obviously the other on-base percentage, slugging percentage, those are the ones that everybody uses.
Ozuna is doing
average.
well in St. Louis.
He's fine.
And Giancarlo Stanton is, hurt again. Again.
He'll be fine too.
He's hurt. He stubbed his toe on the coffee table or something.
He had strained PCL. Yeah,
How?
Yeah, I'm similar to that. I've had it. I know
like
what it's like.
Stinger?
Did you see the injury? It was on a slide. He just jammed his kneecap.
I saw when he thumped his
that compression to the kneecap. There's 3 ligaments.
To slide, big man.
Yeah, well, he's a big. That's a lot of force.
A big dude. He's a linebacker.
Yeah, that's one of 3 ligaments in the knee, and that's behind the knee. Yeah. So that's the injury there. So,
but you know what? He can take a couple of months off. I think somebody will be able to pick up the slack in New York.
That Encarnacion trade looks like pretty good right now too, huh? Yeah. Yankees are really good right now.
If you want to send Frazier down or say, why don't you give Jeter a call? We can use a couple of more good former Yankees like Garrett Cooper, who's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Love that kid.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been angling this back to the Marlins the whole
Cooper's
show.
hitting it too. I like him too. He's hitting 315 or something, 313 coming in, 319 now coming into today. Yeah. Well aware.
After I left that game, Russ and I left in disgust. We left in disgust because the umps blew a base path obstruction call on a pickle, and Minwen Chen. How do you say his stupid name?
Threw a few letters.
Chen.
Right.
Captain Implosion.
I think Chen Minwen's a restaurant. Is that a restaurant?
I want the number 6, which means it's the get out of town special. Okay, the dude's stealing $20 million.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Get him. Bye. Here, write him a check and let him go. Bring the kids up from the minor leagues. He's stealing innings from kids that could do much better. But and for your edification, which I was at the game today, and Haskins is just
Rhys
nuts.
Hoskins.
Rhys Hoskins.
Very good.
Hopkins?
Rhys Hoskins.
Hoskins.
Yes.
Okay, Rhys Hoskins.
Yes, he's pretty good.
He's one of your guys.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's a Marlin killer.
Yeah.
I hate him. But he was a terror today. The Marlins are doing some of the right things that you were talking about, encouraging the kids, and they're really making it family centric. It was a good turnout today.
Good. It should have been.
I mean, it wasn't a whole bunch of Philly fans making up the turnout. It was
70-30, you think? Phillies fans maybe
75-25.
Really? Okay.
Marlins fans.
All right. Well, good for the Marlins base then.
I'm impressed.
Listen, over the last month and a half,
cheaper, they made it very family friendly.
Well, they should. There's no reason
Latin.
why. If your seats are empty in any ballpark, I don't care where it is, fill the seats. Give a good dollar. Who's not going to buy $1 seat for a kid or for an adult? They're going to come in and spend $50. You can't.
It was a great time.
There's not a Coke in the stadium less than $10 freaking dollars. There's not a hot dog you can't buy for $10. So you're going to come in the stadium and spend money. Get him into the stadium. Get that ballpark experience.
I made a spectacle of myself a little bit.
How many hot dogs did you have?
No, I didn't eat all. I had a Cuban sandwich.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I like Cuban sandwiches.
But I made a little bit of a spectacle of myself. I mean, Russ and I were heckling Chen hard. Hard.
Is there video of this?
Hard. Oh, we went hard.
Did you get his name right at least this time?
No, it's just Chen.
Okay.
Just Chen, because it's what's on the back of his jersey.
Okay.
Oh, you suck. I could pitch better. You know what? My mom doesn't like you, and she likes everybody. She even likes me. Oh, I had him just dying. They were just. I had little old ladies laughing. I had the kids going crazy, and I was amazed that I got through the whole period of really roasting the crap out of him, and I didn't drop one F-bomb. I didn't say
that's
shit.
Respectful.
I didn't say F.
I would hope so.
There's kids around.
There's chance. Yeah, there's hope for everyone, I guess.
It was hate filled but clean.
Okay.
So, but we made a spell, and then finally we just stomped off in disgust and came here and finished up the production. So, but they're doing nice things down there. That was a nice turnout today.
I'm
I'd
glad.
say probably about 13,000. Maybe a little more than 13,000. It was a good turnout. I mean, there weren't like large, empty, abandoned sections that you normally see in a Marlins game.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, they built the baseball stadium down there in the minds of. It is a really great. I like going down there too. Yeah. I really do. But if it was 12,000, if it was 13,000, I mean, it's not enough. It needs to be.
It holds 32.
It needs to be in the 20s or low 20s. It needs to be even higher than that. And
baby steps, man.
No reason why they can't fill
baby steps. Remember dumpster fire year before, dumpster fire last year.
Yeah.
They took the hose to the dumpster fire. And now what we're seeing is dump the dumpster over and clean it out.
You don't have to win necessarily to fill seats. I mean, the Cubs didn't win a championship for 100 years, and they had every freaking game was sold out.
When we left, it was 9-1. Okay, when we left, it was 9-1. We were disgusted.
Yeah.
And after we got home, I put the game on. I'm like, it's still on. We left at the top of the 7th.
Yeah.
And it's still on because in the 8th. The Marlins scored 5 runs, and the Phillies scored 2 more runs. Mm-hmm. And then they scored 1 more in the 9th.
It went on for a while.
Just like score. So nobody really wanted to pitch.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody got their entertainment dollars worth, and that was great. It's encouraging. You know me, I'm a pessimist.
Listen,
today was very encouraging.
I found light in today's walk-off, so
it's very nice.
I'm always looking for light when it comes to baseball.
All right, well, tell the people where they can find you on Instagram.
MLB Joy Us.
Got to put an @ in front of it.
At MLB Joy Us.
MLB Joy Us.
That too.
Or just type in Matthew Masaracchio.
That too.
You're on your own.
I'm on my own.
No, not you, them.
Oh, they're on their own.
Yeah.
We're on our own.
Spell it for them real quick.
MASARACCHI.
1 S, 2 C's. Remember that.
Correct.
I screwed it up a whole bunch of times.
I think I just screwed it up.
Right. And then, of course, you can go to the @Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. Gonzo Radio Sports, @Gonzo Radio Sports Desk on the Instagrams. You can also hit the Sports Desk fan page and group page on Facebook. Like and join. Like the fan page. Join the group page. Eventually, we're going to be consolidating things, and it's going to start to get a little weird because I think I may have found a good and proper webmaster. So the Sports Desk is going to get a drop-down banner or a link banner on the new revamped website.
Cool.
We may stay on this channel, but you will have a Sports Desk playlist. The Empire organizes.
Look out.
Yeah.
We got things going on.
Yeah. Hey, how good is it you can hit hard, but you can't hit what you're swinging at?
Agree.
So we're going to start making connections. What do you got over there? Oh, he's got this magic laptop over there that's got all kinds of analytical stuff. He's got like 8 windows open.
I got fan graphs going
None
everywhere.
of them are porn.
No, I got fan graphs going everywhere. It's all baseball.
All right, well, I'm going to let him go play with his computer, and I am going to catch you guys next week. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., the Gonzo Radio Show for entertainment value. For comedy value, tomorrow night's guest is going to be one Mr. Jerry Bauman, GB, legendary South Florida music figure and DJ. He also runs his own record label. We're going to be talking music. We're going to be talking politics. Jerry's got a deeper voice than I do. Jerry's got a really, really deep voice. He's a big dude too, so there's going to be a lot of heat going on in here. So tomorrow night, you might want to check that out. It's going to be very entertaining. If all I had to do is turn the camera on and we go, so. GB, how you doing? Boom. And an hour later, we're talking about stuff. So so I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. That's the Mazz.
Peace.
And we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.